In this video, we're going to look at algebraic expressions with words. In the first example, we have a right angle triangle and the sides are in terms of x. And we're asked to show there's only one value of x for which this triangle is right angled. So your knowledge of Pythagoras is that the two straight sides squared and added together, x minus 4 squared plus x minus 5 squared, they're the two straight sides. They have to be equal to the diagonal squared. So you won't see the answer straight away with a lot of these questions. You do have to work your way through them. Multiplying the brackets out, x squared, x by minus 4 is minus 4x and double it, minus 8x plus 16 is the first one. It might be easier to line these up cascade wise, but I'm just going to go left to right. X squared, x by minus 5 is minus 5x and double it. And then we have minus 5 squared will be equal to x squared, x by 4 is 4x and double it, plus 16. So we have an x squared on both sides of the equal sign. We also have a 16 on both sides of the equal sign. And now let's simplify our terms. We have x squared minus 8x, just tick it off when we're done, minus 10x. Bringing over a plus 8x will be minus 8x. And now all we're left with is the plus 25. Nothing left on the right hand side equals 0. So we have x squared minus 26x plus 25. And you should see the factors of this are x minus 25 by x minus 1. There's a clue in the question in that this is a minus and this is a plus, so they both have to be minuses. So we're going to add them to get 26, 25 and 1, and multiply them to get 25. So our solutions will be x is equal to 25 or x is equal to 1. So why doesn't one of these work? Well, 1 minus 4 will be negative 3. We can't have a minus number on a distance or length of a side of a triangle. So 25 minus 4, this will be 21. 25 minus 5 will be 20. And 25 plus 4 will be 29. And if we multiply these out, 29 squared, is that equal to 20 squared plus 21 squared? So in an exam, you take your calculator out, you type in 29 squared, and you get 841. 20 squared is 400, and 21 squared is 441. And just write 841 equals 841. Therefore, and repeat this information, only one value of x for which the triangle is right angled. And you've got the first question done. Second question is about factors. Here we have the factors of 45. There's 4 of them, apart from 1 and 45. So write them all down. 1 and 45 is given. 2 doesn't go in. 3 does go in 15 times. Just type in 45 divided by 3. 4 doesn't go in. 5 by 9 is 45. And when we get close to each other, these two numbers, 6 and 7 and 8 are the only numbers in between, and you can see none of them go into 45. So we're given boxes to write our answers. 3, 5, 9, and 15. Nice easy starter. N is a whole number bigger than 1. It has just 2 factors, 1 and n. So this looks like a prime number here. Put a tick in the box to show that what type of number it is, 1 box only. And it is a prime number. If you imagine 1 by 7, a whole number bigger than 1, only got 2 factors, are our prime numbers. Then we're told p is a whole number. Apart from 1 and p, the only factor that p has is 7. So let's have a look here. The value of p, we have 1, 7, and p are the only factors of this number that we're looking for. And hopefully you see that we would have to have 7 by 7 if 7 is the only other factor, which would be 49. So p will be equal to 49. For part D, a question that would trick a lot of people just the way it's phrased, but let's see how simple it can be if we break it down properly. There's 4 factors of 12k plus 8. Apart from 1 and 12k plus 8, 2 of the factors should be in terms of k, so we have to have k in our answer. Now, if you were told that 20 was the number, what would the factors be? Well, let's just jot down 10 by 2, 10 and 2. How do we get that? We say there has to be a number that divides into this number for there to be factors of it. So can you see a number that divides into 12 and 8? 2 definitely does. That would leave 6k plus 4. So that's definitely a factor. Imagine 2 by 10. And then is there any other number that divides into 12 and 8? Well, 4 divides in, which would leave 3k plus 2. So these are my 4 factors: 2, 4, 3k plus 2, and 6k plus 4. So another word-heavy question, which they love at Junior Cert Algebra to try and make them in some way difficult. A group of friends make a video and post it on YouTube. They know that they will be paid approximately €15 for every 10,000 views. Use this information to work out how many views they would need to get €45. Now, €15, let's build it up, is equal to 10,000. So what would 20,000 be? 20,000 would be €30. You should see the answer to this one straight away. And then if we keep going with our pattern, €45 will be how much they'd make for 30,000 views. Or else you could just divide 45 by 15 and say it's 3 times the amount. 3 times the amount of what? 3 times 10,000 would be 30,000 too. If they get 80,000 views, well, let's try and use the same math we've used already. So every 10,000 is €15. So how many 10,000s are in 80,000? As you're writing it down, you should see that the answer is 8. And if we get €15 for every one of these, 8 by 15 is €120. Part C of this question, work out how much in euro they will be paid for one view. There's going to be a division as well. And the information given is €15 for 10,000. I think sometimes it's easier to think about these questions if, let's say it was €15 for 2 views. It would be $7.50 for each view. That would be 15 divided by 2. So if you use this just as a simple example, it would have to be 15 divided by 10,000 would give you what it would be for one view. And this is 0.0015, and that's in euro. Tiny amount of money for one view. In part D, the video costs €70 to make, and it does not cost anything to post on YouTube. Write an expression for X, the profit in euro they will get for the video. Okay, let's have a look at the profit here. So they have to make more than €70 to make profit. So it's going to be the 70 is going to be involved in this question. So how much do they make for one view? 0.0015. That will be by 10,000 to give us the €15 by X. We don't know how many the 10,000 is, or we don't know how many views they have. So we'd have to take away €70. That's going to reduce our profit. So this will be the profit, 0.0015x minus the €70 it's going to cost. And there are 7 people in the group, and they divide the profit from the video between them. They each get €200, so they get €200 by 7. So there's €1,400 profit here for the group. So that means that 0.0015, we're going to have to work out the value of X in the next part, times X is equal to 1,400. This is an equation in X to represent this information. Or you could have 0.0015 X minus 70, I've left out the 70 here, I'll put it in now, divided by the amount of people, 7, that's their profit, that will be 200. So the minus 70 is in the middle here, minus 70 equals 1,400. So 0.0015x is equal to 1,400 plus 70, 1,470. So X would have to be the 1,470 divided by the 0.0015. So typing this into your calculator, you get the value of X here. The total number of views on the video is going to be 980,000 views. So quite a lot of views for this video. Another question with these algebraic expressions with words. Pete has €20 to begin with, and he saves 12 each week. So we look at this pattern. He begins with 20, then he's going to get 32. He's getting 12 extra each week, 44, and so on. We're asked for 5 weeks, so let's go this is week 0, we can say. Week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The week 0 is very important in these questions. So 56 if he's adding 12, 68, and then 70 after 5 weeks, or 20 is week 0 plus 12 times n, which we normally use in patterns. 20 plus 12n, that will work. 20 plus 12, 20 plus 24, 20 plus 36, and so on. Now, write an expression in n for the amount of money that people have saved after n weeks. So this is what we have here, the one above. I'm just maybe jumping a little bit ahead. 20 plus 12n, your 12 times tables plus the initial amount. Or we would have learned in class the difference was just 12 here. So just dealing with 12n. Maeve has 15 to begin with and saves a further 6. So this is your initial amount plus 6n for Maeve. 15, 21, we're adding 6, we're adding 12, 27, and so on. And that's the expression. You guys are brilliant at patterns, I know. And you can see how easy they are at Junior Cert. Pete will give 1/4 of his savings to buy the Xbox. So 20 plus 12n over 4 will be 1/4 of his savings. And Mary will give 2/3. So we're going to have 20 plus 12n over 4. That's 1/4. Plus 2/3. So there's the 2/3 multiplied by 15 plus 6n. I'll put it in a bracket. That's going to be equal to the Xbox amount, 200. So we're working out a value for n here. So to get rid of the denominators of 4 and 3, we multiply by 12. So I put a 12 here, and a 12 here, and a 12 here. Let's see what happens. 4 into 12 goes 3 times. So 3 times 20, 60. 3 times 12n, 36n. Then we have 3 goes into 12 4 times. So we have 4 times 2, which is 8 here. We're going to have an 8 in front of this bracket. 8 15s is 120. And 8 6n's is 48n. And that's going to be equal to 2400. 12 200s, 2400. So simplifying down, 36 and 48 is going to be 70 and 14. 84n is equal to 2400 minus 180. So what have we got? 84n. I'll just go up here. 84n is equal to 2220. So n will be equal to 2220 divided by 84. So n will be 26.42. But n has to be a natural number. So they won't have enough after 26 weeks. They'll have to go to the 27th week to be able to afford this Xbox. In this question, they bring in a little bit of geometry as well. We're told the table below shows some information about regular polygons. These are shapes where the angles are all the same size. So the number of angles in the polygon, we're told, is 3. In part A, the sum of the angles is 80. So you can see each one is 60. Each angle will be 60. Then we're told we have 4 angles in the polygon, and they add up to 360. And 360 divided by 4, each angle would be 90. And we're asked to fill in the rest of the table. So we're told some more information to make it a little bit easier. The sum of the angles is linear. Here's the sum of the angles, so it's going up in the same amount each time. So adding 180 to 180, you get 360. Add 180 to 360, we get 540. And 180 again would give us 720. So you don't need to have a lot of information or knowledge about polygons. And then 540 divided by 5 will be 108 degrees. And 720 divided by 6 will be 120 degrees. So there's a clue in the question here. Don't panic when you see these questions. Read them very carefully. Find a formula for the sum of angles in a regular polygon with n angles. So let's start with the number of angles. We have n angles. So our pattern for the number of angles is 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you can see the differences are all 1. We have a linear pattern here for the number of angles, but it doesn't start at 1. So it's going to be 1 times n, the difference times n, and then how do we get to the number 3? It looks like this will be n plus 2. But if we look at this a slightly different way, if we look at term 1 has 3 angles. So how do I go from 3 back to 1? It will be n minus 2. So for n to be 3, or term 1 to be 3 angles, we'd have to have a 3 minus 2 to give us our 1. So let's see, does this work? 180 is the difference all the way down here, which we've seen already. If we put in n to be 3 angles, we're going to get 180 by 1. And then n to be 4 angles in position 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see that would work again. 180 by 2 will be 360, which is the sum. So this one is definitely 180 times n minus 2. Just be careful, it's kind of a combination of 2 patterns. And then the column and the table showing the size of each angle. Complete the column when we've done that. The size of each angle, 60, 90, 108, 120. 60, 90, 108 and 120. So there must be a relationship here as well. And we've done that. We've completed the table. So we want to find a formula for the size of each angle in a regular polygon with n angles. So let's look at the relationship. How do we get the size of each angle, the 60? Well, we take the sum of the angles and we divide by the number of angles. Does that work here? 360 divided by 4 is 90. So it's our previous formula, our 180 times n minus 2 divided by n. Tricky last 2 parts to this question, but there always will be in the juniors there. Don't worry if you don't get it all. Just try and get as much as you can.